Si tu as 18 camions qui bossent pour nous, 18 fois 30 pour les maths, ça fait combien? 300 plus 500. Okay? Donc, imaginez, il a 18 camions qui représentent 540 tonnes sur 2500. Vous voyez à peu près l'impact s'il met tous ces 18 camions. Donc, c'est pour ça que je dis, chaque jour, ok, on me dit que c'est bientôt fini. Chaque jour, vous analysez, en fin de semaine, vous faites le bilan. Et vous faites le bilan pour savoir qu'est-ce que je dois faire mieux la semaine suivante pour m'améliorer. Je vous remercie, je crois que je suis un peu.
Nous remercions comme ça M. Ekolo, directeur de logistique de Simankan. Sans toutefois tarder, nous allons passer la parole au troisième orateur du jour, M. Aïna de Dangote. Il va prendre la parole et nous va
Ils vont payer la pub, hein? Ils vont payer la pub sur Facebook.
Et c'est un avantage nécessaire d'avoir deux concurrents comme ça dans un même secteur d'activité.
Ils vont payer la pub à Caslop.
Yeah. Good afternoon. You know, I promised to speak French last time. I just want to tell you that my teacher handled it. Well, we'll get another time. Yes. But there are conditions. Well, you see, it will have been very easy for me to lie to you this afternoon, but unfortunately, I have one of my colleagues in the room, so I will not be able to lie to you. But above all, I don't lie. I just want to. Doctor has said so many things that can actually help your career in supply chain, but I'll summarize it like this: you have to be a nostalgic person to have a successful career in supply chain and logistics. How can you be a nostalgic person? A nostalgic person is a person who has the knowledge of yesterday and can see to what is happening today, then he can forecast what will happen tomorrow. The most traumatized Cameroonian around me is my driver. I always pity my driver because whenever I call my driver and say, take me to this place, by the time we are getting to that place, something is happening. So, my driver did not know. I hope some people are getting me. Yes, my regular interpreter will be You are getting me?
Yes.
Most of the time, I pity the guy because I always get to the right place at the right time. So it's as if it is not voodoo. It's just because I have embedded myself into the job. Let me tell you one funny story. A particular man entered a bus. I don't know how many people have been to Nigeria before. All those are big buses. Oh, you've been to Nigeria. You went to Lagos? Where in Lagos? You entered those big buses? You went to Lekki, you didn't go to Lagos. That is for those people who will be driving cars up and down. When you go to Oshodi, when you go to Wajigule, when you go to Apapa, when you see those buses. So the man entered the bus and his money was stolen. An elderly man, his money was stolen from his pocket. And the man said, my wallet has been stolen. Don't allow what happened in 1964 to happen again. Don't allow what happened in 1964 to happen again. Then the person who stole the wallet was afraid. Then he said, Pa, see your wallet. And the man took his wallet. He checked, he saw his money. Then I said, Pa, what happened in 1964? He said, in 1964, my wallet was stolen. I don't have money, so I trekked home. So, don't allow what happened in 1964 to happen again. We need to keep records. There's a particular, I don't want to repeat what Doctor have said verbatim, so I will tell you in stories, so that if you are forgetting what Doctor have told you, you will remember my stories, then you will recall what Doctor have told you. There's a particular popular reading that there's a particular hospital in Ward 8 of that hospital. Every Sunday, the best anybody who is on the life support at between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. will always die. In that hospital, Ward 8, anybody who is on life support between the hours of 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock on Sunday will die. And they were like, what exactly is happening? We need to check. And some people are already there, they read the story. We need to check what is happening. Not knowing that a particular cleaner, whenever she comes, she wants to charge her phone. Because she wants to charge her phone, she disconnects the life support and plug her phone. And that is what is costing people's life. It took them time to check and to know. Therefore, you have to embed yourself into what you do. When you become a master of the art, you do things seamlessly. My sleep hour is not more than at most 4 hours. I don't sleep more than 4 hours, but I don't think I'm looking sick. Because I enjoy. You see, when you are enjoying what you are doing, you will not feel the stress. You will not feel the stress. When you see that Dangote truck on the road, I left this office, this place to go and make a phone call. In Cameroon, Cameroon is a different war game. I'm about in other countries, but Cameroon is a different war game. What happened today? A vehicle veered off its road to hit my truck. And they were saying that according to the law in Cameroon, if you hit my car and you are badly damaged, or your car is badly damaged and you are wounded, because I am still standing, I should start bringing out money to I said, for heaven's sake, it is not normal. It's okay. It's okay. So I have my pictures before coming to Cameroon. I've told you before. And then I have this gray hair, good in Cameroon. But you need to. Where is the arrow key? I just want to go to one point. See, you just for you, for you. It's okay. No, go down. Yes, it's okay. For you to, if you have digital supply chain experience, you are just 1/4. If you can predict with it, you are going to 2. But until you use the data, but your intuition takes you to the point. That is what will actually make you to be able to anticipate. Your ability to anticipate makes you to stand out. Your ability to anticipate makes you to stand out. In an organization, especially probably in the cement industry, where you are using, what we're using is not 100% local. Look at what happened with COVID-19. With COVID-19, importation becomes a problem. Vessels are not moving. And lastly, the high sea blockage that happened in yes. And you see all that. So if you did not plan your product line very well, you run out of stock. When they're going to run out of stock, cement can go to the market and then they will be doing their party. And you know the bad thing about it all is that if you lose the market, for you to catch up, you understand? Let me cite an instance. When I came to Cameroon, my driver then took me to one place not too far from my house. So that was the first place I banged my head. So I did not see anywhere other than that place. So I was going to that place, going to that place, going to that place. And one day I got there, the place was shut. Doesn't mean I'm not going to bang my head. Then I was coming, then I saw another place, I banged my head. And ever since I did not go back there. That is the danger of losing market. Don't let any competitor catch up with you for any reason. And all depends on the supply chain person. You want to eat, like Doctor said, you now come and say, oh, that place, we want to go and buy cooking gas. Is it your only place that has food? Even if I've been coming there every day, that day I move out, I taste another food that is probably better than what you are cooking. Will I come back? No. Case closed. So as a supply chain expert, a lot of things depend on you. The existence and non-existence of your organization. Production will produce. Logistics resource. But as the gap bridger between the demand and the supply, if it is missing, you are nowhere to be found. Thank you. But before I go, I fought doctor yesterday. The fact is, I won't lie anything. Okay, there's a documentary I granted the interview yesterday too, and I told people, go and read very well. They said a visionary leader is a leader whose vision surpasses. Let me break it down. If Dangote, for instance, he has built an empire now, right? No. If he dies and that company dies, does it make any sense? No. Good. That means his vision is on him and him alone. He has not been able to build an organization, right? The last time Alaji came to Cameroon, who can guess? Not you. Who can guess? Who can guess? The last time that man stayed his food in Cameroon. Who? No person. Alaji. Alaji Aliko Dangote.
Obviously, helicopter.
Helicopter. He doesn't have helicopter.
Only once when he came to.
No, he was coming regularly when that place was under construction.
Yes.
And the last time he came to Cameroon, inauguration 2015. Yes. After that, that is a visionary leader. That the running of Cameroon or Congo or Ethiopia or Senegal or Tanzania did not depend on him, right? Let's ask ourselves a question. How do we pay for Foye de Marine to do this place? How do we pay? No, I'm not even saying how much do we pay. Even if it is 1 franc, how do we pay? Where is the money? Where is that 1 franc coming from? Caslo. What's the other? No. Caslo. Agreed. Caslo. If it's coming from Caslo, you're a member of Caslo, right?
Yes.
When last did you pay your subscription? Or how is Caslo paid? You should get money. No money. We should run Caslo without money. Empty pocket. See, I don't want to say what you have said is wrong, or what you have said is not acceptable. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not acceptable. Everything, every now and then that we meet here, the money is coming from just one source, which is wrong. Sometimes ago, when we have meetings like this, Dr. do give us boiled egg. Am I right?
Boiled egg and things like that. But now the thing is shrinking. I don't see no water, nothing.
I think you should put me off Facebook now. People will not say.
We are doing.
Let's talk in-house. Let's talk in-house. God forbid anything happens to Doctor.
Remove me from Facebook.
On ne peut pas arrêter.
What if? That is where I want to end it. What if? Is it sure that if anything happens to doctor today, we have any other branch?
No, that's a good question.
No. Then, how does his vision surpass him? We should start thinking of helping this thing to grow.
Et du coup, j'ai eu une intuition. J'ai dormi ce que je pensais, mais je lui ai soumis ça pour qu'il donne son point de vue avant de mettre ça au grand jour. Parce qu'il avait un peu peur, parce qu'il est sorti un peu de la logistique pour entrer dans la psychologie et beaucoup d'autres sciences compliquées de sociologie. Je me suis rendu compte qu'en fait, la logistique est un mélange ou alors une synergie de toutes ces sciences, en fait. Parce que la logistique, c'est la recherche de l'excellence, dans une synergie, dans une sorte d'harmonie, et la recherche également du profit. Alors, je me suis donc dit, l'intuition ici peut revêtir deux aspects très importants. D'abord, l'intuition dans le sens propre du thème, un peu comme le docteur l'a dit tout à l'heure, qui ressemble un peu au maraboutage, qui ressemble un peu à toutes ces illusions. Et l'intuition même qui vient du fait qu'on a en main certaines données qui peuvent nous amener à prédire des choses. Si j'essaie un peu de développer le premier aspect, l'intuition ici peut être la capacité de faire appel à ton subconscient pour résoudre des problématiques assez complexes. Et le subconscient ici renvoie à l'ensemble des connaissances qu'on a acquises durant notre parcours, durant notre expérience, et qui nous donne la capacité de résoudre des problèmes. Je prends un cas très simple. Vous êtes par exemple un directeur logistique dans une entreprise et vous avez tellement analysé les tableaux de bord, tellement analysé les croquis de vos parkings, ainsi de suite, au point où un jour on vous envoie une photo d'un parking et directement vous avez une intuition que non, quelque chose ne va pas ici. En fait, ce n'est pas une intuition. C'est juste que vos connaissances, votre grande expérience a détecté une incertitude, a détecté un problème. Et quand vous êtes assez éveillé, vous allez pouvoir comprendre qu'ici, il y a peut-être un problème qui se pose. Ça, c'est la première phase de l'intuition, c'est-à-dire, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, acquérir toutes ces connaissances-là qui nous permettent d'avoir des solutions rapides. Maintenant, la deuxième phase, c'est l'intuition qui découle des données qu'on reçoit, qui découle des expériences, qui découlent des rencontres, ainsi de suite, qui nous permet de prédire l'avenir. De prédire l'avenir. Ma question aujourd'hui, c'est la suivante. Est-ce qu'on peut utiliser des sciences exogènes pour être un meilleur supply chain lead? Est-ce qu'on peut utiliser par exemple une science comme la psychologie? Est-ce qu'on peut utiliser une science comme les statistiques pour être un supply chain efficient? Ça, c'est ma question.
On prend d'abord d'autres questions ou on répond avant de prendre une autre?
On veut plus de autres, c'est à lui.
Il posait la question à qui? À tout le monde?
Oui, à tout le monde.
Pas la liste.
Oui.
C'est lui là.
Hein? Ma belle, traduire.
I'll just go directly to the question and ask.
Yeah, directly.
He's trying to know if you can use
Another
sex
science.
like psychology, in fact, to become a better supply chain manager.
Okay. No, it's possible.
In fact, like I
And
said,
other sciences,
psychology
yeah.
and other sciences.
Other science, yeah. Any other subject, you can.
D'autres questions? Une autre question? Another question.
Good evening, everyone. My question is from Dr. Jamensi's lecture. Doc, you said in companies today, the various problems that occur are repetitive problems. We all know that we can never avoid problems in life, that everywhere in our lives, both in our careers. So how can we remedy these problems or limit these repetitive problems that occur in companies today?
Autre question? Une troisième question.
Okay. I'll first thank Mr. Njame for United Supply Chain Manager from same sector in the competitive aspect. I have a particular question for both of them. How do they deal to manage lead time in the aspect of observing their competitors? Because they're in the same market. You people are in the same market. So you are doing what we say sometimes, la veille. So how do you manage that aspect of, I have to look what is happening in that other house. Sometimes because what they're doing there impacts me. I can't move without looking there. I have to watch how I'm putting my foot.
Is it from the topic of the seminar?
No, exactly. No. It's very interesting because by the grace of God, United, because I'm not sure I'm gonna see them again like this, United are the same. So I have to it's an opportunity. So no, don't explain the secret. It's not the secret aspect. They're not fighting. No.
Your point is taken.
Should I close my question?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So how do they manage the aspect of looking? Well, I'll put it in the, I know the word in French, la veille. La veille de la supply chain. Exactly.
La veille concurrentielle.
In the supply chain aspect.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do they manage?
Trois questions. Bon, je pense qu'on peut répondre. Après, on va prendre une dernière séance de 3 questions. Faisons l'effort de répondre même.
Il y a une dernière question là.
Ok.
Bonjour, ma question s'adresse au docteur Ndiamen. Vous avez parlé de la manipulation des informations. Après avoir récolté les informations, on passe au tri, l'hierarchisation, les occurrences et tout. Maintenant, et plus tard, on va faire ce qu'on appelle la planification. Maintenant, je veux savoir si, est-ce qu'on planifie par rapport aux informations, forcément aux informations reçues au début, ou alors on va planifier même les événements qu'on n'a pas rencontrés en entreprise. Je vais prendre un exemple. Si dans une entreprise, dans une usine, on a plusieurs machines qui fonctionnent et on se dit, bon, le problème c'est, on a peut-être une machine qui s'arrête tous les 2 heures, on a une autre machine qui s'arrête tous les 3 heures. Est-ce que dans la planification, on va chercher d'autres problèmes, se dire, et si on coupe le courant, pourtant d'habitude, on n'a pas l'habitude de couper le courant. Est-ce qu'on va quand même prendre cette possibilité en compte?
Ok.
Merci.
The question is directed to you.
To you.
It's directed specifically to you. So
I suppose to answer the question. Je suis supposé ne pas répondre aux questions. Pourquoi? Je suis le hôte.
She said my question specifically goes to strong. So
Essaye d'arrêter, docteur.
Ok.
On commence par la dernière question.
Veille concurrentielle.
Non, là, je réponds à la veille concurrentielle.
Oui.
I will explain. Okay, I will say it in English or in French as you want. So, you know, before we were the first in the market. So we call it in French, we have the monopoly. But when now you start having other competitors, what do? You say, okay, this competitor, his capacity of production is this. Your capacity is this. As soon as you are able to fulfill your capacity, you don't care about the other guys is doing. Because we do a lot of analysis, we say, as I told you before, the demand for this year will be this. This will be the cake. And according to the cake, you have the cake. This is like that you do your prediction. You have the cake, you have the plant. What are the plant capacity? What is your capacity? And as soon as you do what you have expected, we call it forecast, what you expected, what he will do, you don't care. What he says, he said also something. We are getting raw material from abroad. When you will be lacking raw material, we'll eat the entire cake. That is the game of the game. So we don't say, okay, he has done this. No. We have a target. Are we fulfilling our target? Full stop. Because the cake is so huge that you cannot eat it alone. You have to share it. But the aim is, am I achieving my target? Yes. And you do all your budget according to your target. I will not tell you that today we are far ahead. No, I will not say.
So, you know what? The first thing is that Dangote, Sima, we are not competitors. You know our competitor? Kaji, Rosary, all these people selling Mimbo, they are our competitor. Because the money that they are supposed to use to buy cement,
yes,
they are using it for other products. Those are our competitors. That is number one. Number two is that he has said it. When a plant is built, the plant capacity is established, right? Once the plant capacity is established, what if you are producing at capacity and pushing to market at capacity? This is the size of my hand. If you pull it further, it will break off my body. Absolutely. So since my hand can go like this, that's the maximum I can do. So that's it.
And also to add something, we have all cement company, we have a gentleman agreement. Because you cannot start doing funny things, you will kill all the companies. So we are not competitors. What we want is, I am able to put in the market 2 million tons of cement, I do it. If for one reason or another, I'm able to do more, it will be a benefit, a bonus.
But you know, the bad thing is that Dangote will never pray that Simath cannot produce or Lafarge cannot produce. Reason being that shortage from any side can escalate the price of cement, which is not good for the end user.
Mm-hmm.
So let us coexist.
Totally. And also we can bring a lot of pressure of the only one company, cement company remaining. And when the pressure is high, let me tell you that nobody will sleep.
This one died and this one died, this one died.
Okay. Can I add something? Okay, I wrote my thesis on that. Competitive intelligence in the cement sector. And by that time there was no Dangote, no Smart, but we have some importers. But there I talk about, I use a word, I think I'm one of the first who use that word in this world. They call it competition. I don't know whether you have heard about it. Co-petition. C-W-O, petition. That's cooperation and then competition. So I say in my thesis, I say that most of the factories, most of the companies, they are not doing, they are friends, they are friendly, moving, they are looking for profit, they're looking for benefit, looking for money. So in some area, in some region, in some particular place, they can do competition. And other places, they do cooperation. So they speak to each other, they discuss, they make plans to get money, to make money. You understand what I mean? So let's call it competition, not competition.
So let me just
competition.
Let me quickly share experience of a telecommunications company. You know, when telecommunications company comes, MTN wants to build its own mast. Glo wants to build. Airtel wants to build. Everybody wants to build their mast. Then the cost of offering services was so high because when you build your mast, you put generator, you are building your own here, I'm building my own here. It's not even good for your customers because their health is also in jeopardy because of the waves. Then so come, why can't we collaborate and co-share? Then you discover that mast was just disappearing in Nigeria. You just see one mast. That mast is hosting MTN, Glo, Airtel, everybody that can pay, everybody. So they just cut their cost. Then the cost of telecommunications drop. So, like I told you, your competitor is not somebody who is offering your same product. Your competitor is somebody, if you people collaborate, makes the price of your services come down, your money that is supposed to come to your commonwealth will not go to elsewhere. This money is not enough to buy a bag of cement. May I drink first? That's it. It's gone. Let me just quickly answer the man who is asking if any profession can fit into logistics. Maybe let me just quickly run my CV. I was actually, when my father gave back to me, he sent me to school to become a banker. So I was actually a banker, and I'm an associate banker, wrote the exam, wrote ICANN, the one you call ACAHA, yeah, I wrote ICANN. But I sat down and I was reading, and I know that if you are doing a regulated business, which is a banking, chartered account, you can't have so much money like I want to have. But if you do unregulated business, then I start thinking, what unregulated business can I do? I start thinking of logistics then. And good, I opted out, and I started project management. From project management, I go into full-scale supply chain, warehousing, transport, and then I went to Cranfield. And when I was going to Cranfield, my friends were thinking I was mad because I was paying very good school fees. A doctor knows Cranfield. I was paying very good school fee. And but today, it's better. So no matter your background, if you have passion for it and you go for it, you can make it. I think that answers your question.
Yes, but excusez-moi pas le temps français. Lui, j'ai compris cette réponse-là, mais en fait, il a répondu en partie à la question. La question était celle de savoir si on peut faire usage d'une autre science pour améliorer ses compétences en supply chain. Est-ce qu'on fait usage d'un cas très simple? Le directeur de Alibaba.
Yes. Non, je pense qu'on peut même directement répondre lors de l'exposé du docteur. Il a parlé de la méthode Delphi, qui est une méthode statistique qu'on utilise en logistique. Ça, c'est un exemple, non?
Tout à fait.
Voilà, lorsqu'on parle par exemple du team building, je pense qu'on fait appel aux autres sciences plus humaines qu'on utilise dans le management logistique. Bon, je pense que la réponse, elle est triviale, non?
You see, life is a continuous reading. You understand? No matter your background, if you get to supply chain, you need to get like Harvard Business Review. Get Harvard Business Review. You can read so much on the net that will prompt you to even understand faster than is expected.
Et on en publie constamment sur Telegram dans le groupe. Les revues de Harvard Business.
Harvard Business
dans le groupe
Review.
Telegram,
If you read Harvard Business
ça
Review
constamment.
Le groupe Telegram casse l'autre.
You do Harvard Business Review, you like, there are so many things you can read, you know what you're saying, that can better. See, the first managing director of one of the biggest transportation company in Nigeria, the man studied law. The man is a lawyer. You understand? And he became so you can just, and even in supply chain, you understand? It's just for you to keep reading. You know that you have a shortfall, you keep reading to get your shortfall.
Ok. Thank you, sir. Est-ce qu'il y a une dernière phase de questions?
On a posé la question.
On n'a pas répondu à tout.
Si.
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 Est-ce qu'il y a une question à laquelle on n'a pas répondu?
C'est bon?
La sienne? S'il te plaît, tu... Pardon? Repose alors, s'il te plaît.
La question de Vilma.
Oui, elle dit qu'on n'a pas répondu à ça.
C'était encore quoi?
Question was answered. What's the question?
It was to me. I'm the one to answer.
Attends, il retrouve la question.
C'était quoi encore la question? Manipulation des informations, c'est ça?
Manipulation des informations, c'était ça.
Ah, ok. Oui, je peux répondre.
Okay.
I will answer for him. Huh? You know, as the doctor said, when you do a business, some problems will happen, but your duty is to make this problem to not happen again. It is what we call predictive, preventive. You need to think before the problem happens. Because if I am your boss, and you always do the same mistakes, I will fire you. I will say you don't learn from your mistake. We found a solution to prevent them to come again. Because a problem is loss of money, loss of time, loss of energy. We don't want problem. Problem can occur once, but not twice.
Like, what I understand is like, don't ever think the problem will stop. You understand? But the reoccurrence of a particular problem shows negligence. You understand what I'm saying?
From what you did good, what happened good or bad, what have you learned from that? So when you know, you have your logbook where you are writing all those things, so you can now do what Mr. Anna was saying, you can now, or Mr. Eko, you can now escape next time when the problem will come. You understand? Because this is repetitive. You already know what to do. You understand what I mean? There are so many examples, but that's the general rule, is to analyze. You have a boyfriend? No, I just said, I'm not asking you. When you have a boyfriend, the boyfriend hit you, you have to find out why he hit you. So now you can now analyze, so that next time you don't hit you. That example is not good.
That example is not good. One guy said slap his wife, he said it's correctional.
C'est bon?
No.
Ok. Une toute une dernière, c'est une dernière.
See doctor.
But mine is not really a question. It's like a review concerning what Oga said about the Casalope suspicion and all of that. Personally, I've never heard about it. So they think that the information is not even out there for people to register, because I didn't even know there were suspicions and different kinds of suspicions, like, okay, you can choose this, you can choose that, you can even choose. So technically, the way we advertise the courses on LinkedIn and Facebook, if you also put out there that, okay, for this is the association effect, because maybe people don't really even know that there's the association, because what comes forward is still the programs. The programs are more visible, but the association is just like in the background. So unless someone has like that interest, there's people that don't want to even do any of these programs, but maybe want to belong to the association. So maybe if we put out more information about the association, the subscription, and maybe like even like the brunches and how things that we do, like just make some small publicity to get people to subscribe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Bon, je pense que avant de passer au prochain point qui est la remise des diplômes de certains certifiés de l'Institut GDI, nous allons passer la parole à Monsieur Emery.
S'il vous plaît, rapidement, parce que nos...
Emery, est-ce qu'il est dans la salle?
Nos autres sont...
Ok, il est là.
Ok. Est-ce que vous pouvez applaudir encore c'est tellement puissant, c'est tellement enrichissant, c'est tellement motivant que vraiment c'est ça aussi, c'est wow. Alors, nous allons tout à l'heure célébrer ceux de nos candidats qui ont récemment décroché les certifications internationales à Global Dominion Institute. Alors, je vais demander à prendre la parole un peu avant. Ce n'était pas prévu, mais j'ai commandé le faire. Parce qu'il y a plusieurs personnes qui m'ont demandé en offre certaines informations sur les certifications. Alors, je ne vais pas donner en détail ici, maintenant. Je vais donner juste quelques formations qui sont lancées pour le mois de juin. Et quand on va finir, même en tête à tête, vous pourrez trouver l'équipe du GDI pour vous donner plus ample information. Alors, les formations qui sont lancées actuellement à Global Dominion Institute. Nous avons lancé la semaine passée la formation en montage et gestion des tableaux de bord logistiques. Le postgraduate diploma in global health. Nous avons eu un candidat au Bénin, qui a commencé en semaine. Au Niger, voilà, qui a commencé en semaine. Nous avons aussi lancé la certification Certified Supply Chain Modeler, la certification en simulation supply chain. Là, il est question de vous former sur des outils technologiques. Comment utiliser la technologie pour simuler, pour faire des simulations et pour prévoir justement qui va arriver dans votre supply chain et prendre les devants avant que ça n'arrive. Nous avons aussi lancé pour les prochains jours One Day Seminar. C'est le tout premier One Day Seminar qu'on fera avec notre partenaire américain avec les certifications de IPMR sur how to negotiate with suppliers. C'est un One Day Seminar. Vous allez faire de 9h à 17h pour donner des astuces sur comment négocier avec les fournisseurs. Et ensuite, nous avons ce short course sur les Incoterms 2020. Alors, je vais m'arrêter là. C'est juste un syllabus, c'est juste un programme rapide là de ce qui est prévu pour le mois en cours. Alors, nous allons passer directement
à la phase.
Oui, à la phase de remise des parchemins. Mais avant, permettez qu'on fasse un peu d'aménagement pour la remise des parchemins.
Là-bas, mets ici, mets ici. Oui, c'est bon.
Bien. Ça, ce sont les personnes qui ont décroché les certifications internationales, notamment en leadership et team building. Ce n'est pas ceux qui viennent finir là, pas ceux qui sont à la salle qui ont fait des mois, c'est pas encore. C'est la première vague. Alors, nous allons accueillir, comme cela se doit, M. Long Armel Fabrice. Il est certifié SEAL International en leadership et team building. Je vos acclamations, s'il vous plaît. Il faut acclamer le leader. Alors, M. Eto, vous avez fait le plaisir de me mettre le diplôme.
Le premier diplôme en leadership.
Le tout premier diplôme en leadership. Il est par ailleurs en train de faire une formation en montage et gestion des tableaux de bord logistiques et la certification supply chain de IPM USA. Félicitations. Nous accueillons aussi M. Sanjong Kiazu Filimon. Il est certifié international en leadership et team building.
Sous vos ovations, s'il vous plaît.
Il vient tout juste. Vous allez applaudir. Est-ce qu'il vient encore applaudir? Applaudissez d'abord pour leadership. Et il vient tout juste d'avoir sa certification internationale CSCS en supply chain management. Donc,
Wait, sir, please. Wait the signal. Okay, thank you.
Ok, nous accueillons cette fois-ci une dame. On a beaucoup vu des hommes certifiés. Il faut quand même les dames, hein, quand même. Alors, on a posé déjà sans la voix. Mademoiselle Biamounana Grace Sephora. Elle est par ailleurs étudiante. Elle prépare un International Introductory Certificate. Il transfère dans le français.
Tu peux déposer ça là-bas.
Là, ça vous briser le signe indien. Briser le signe indien. Je brise le signe indien. Que le diplôme s'ouvre d'autres diplômes. Hein? Félicitations.
Attendez.
Comme c'est son premier diplôme, elle tremble.
Ok.
Ensuite, une autre dame, et pas des moindres, Mademoiselle Pouam Tegia Krassel Mabel. Elle est aussi certifiée supply chain. Elle a été préparée international diplôme et transport dans logistique. Là, c'est la forme. Ça doit faire partie d'un brunch. Ça, c'est un thème, ça. Bon. Je ne sais pas comment il va faire pour filmer, parce qu'il est multitâche. Il a d'abord décroché la certification International Diploma de SILT. Il est encore à SILT pour décrocher la certification Leadership Anti-Building. Et c'est le photographe assermenté des supply chain brunch. Il prépare avant diplôme. Est-ce qu'on peut l'applaudir?
On va le filmer.
Voilà, est-ce qu'on peut encore acclamer cette fois, s'il vous plaît? C'est ce que m'a dit Marcel.
Oh, filme-le. Levez-vous si vous voulez. Levez-vous.
Oh, maman, ça fait bien mal. J'ai bien mal à la main.
Seul? Ok.
Il faut une certification en photographie là.
Vraiment, tu as raison.
Certification
en photographie.
C'est bon.
Est-ce qu'on peut applaudir s'il vous plaît? Bon. Vous entrez le commentaire, il y a moi.
Monsieur Aina.
Émeric Livet, c'est moi-même.
Photo.
You people are making me to prepare my retirement. So my retirement plan is so short. I'm going back to the classroom to do project.
Bon, je pense que si c'est fini avec la phase des... Si c'est fini avec la phase des photos, des remises des diplômes, le docteur va prendre la parole pour une dernière fois, pour quelques secondes, et on va passer à la photo de famille, comme on a l'habitude de faire.
D'accord. Donc, vraiment, je voulais remercier toute l'assistance, hein, tous ceux qui sont venus. Merci pour la confiance. Votre présence est un encouragement pour moi à travailler, à aller de l'avant et à chercher toujours le meilleur pour nous. Continuez à nous faire confiance et nous n'allons pas vous décevoir. Je voudrais également dire merci à Francis. Comment Francis, je suis très
dépose.
Dépose. Ça me va trop au cœur. Sacrifier l'après-midi déjà pour nous.
Recule tout ça comme ça, là, tu mets ici, parce qu'on va prendre la photo de famille. Emery, baisse le truc là, on recule tout ça comme ça. Tu mets ici. Porte avec la chaise, si seulement.
Ça nous donne vraiment un défi. Je ne vais pas les recevoir. Et je crois que vraiment, il faudrait
la tablette.
Prochainement, la porte est ouverte.
Une deuxième personne. Pour retirer à la table.
Merci beaucoup.
Ok. S'il vous plaît, on se lève tous, on va venir tous comme ça devant pour prendre la photo. Ceux qui ont les chefs devant, on va venir tous le faire. Donc comme ça, on ne va pas partir. Attendez. Oui, tire vers toi. On retire ça, non? Non, ça va. Hein? Ça va. Retirons plutôt ça, on met... Voilà. Voilà. Très bien. Il est où? Ah, c'est lui, c'est vrai. C'est toi qui vas donner. On peut s'accouper pour ceux qui veulent. On casse. C'est bon?
Tu peux t'accouper.
C'est bon?
Ah ouais, mais il est toi, même jardin. Non.
Voilà.
Une personne ne sort pas, c'est pas grave.
C'est le mot dit.
Eddie.
Continue, m'oublie.
Où sont les étiquettes là?